So, hello and welcome, Lydia Nemec. I'm very happy to see you today, and I thank you so much to giving me the opportunity to ask you some questions today. Lydia, you're head of AI Accelerator at Zeiss Group, and yes, maybe first could you give me a glimpse of what the data analytics department at Zeiss does, and what kind of company it is?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Judith, for having me here, and thank you for giving me a chance to tell a little bit about us and what we do and who we are. So let me start with Zeiss. Zeiss is a portfolio company, which means we are in different areas and segments active. And we are organized in 4 different segments. And where most people know us from is actually from their classes, whether it's, your classes for your obstacles or for your binocular or what have you, or your camera, right? So this is the more customer thing, which is our vision department. The second area where people know us quite a lot is about our microscopes, because Zeiss was founded starting with building up a really high accuracy microscope. And here we have the area of microscopy and measurement technology in general, which is doing a lot of quality assurance, for example, in automotive. A third segment that we have is the Meditech. So here, if you think about you go to your doctor because you have some issue about your eyes, whatever there is, we might have a product to help your doctor to make sure and diagnose the right thing and do the right thing. And finally, and this is something that people may not be so aware of, we are very big into the semiconductor industry. So whenever you take your high-end mobile phone, the chips in there most likely have seen Zeiss technology for the lithography. So whenever you need really tiny chips, Zeiss lithography is your friend here. We, as the data and analytics team, we work with all the segments together. So it doesn't matter in what kind of business you are, whether you're Meditech or whether you're Vision, you can approach us. And to be able to do this on the one hand side and to make sure that the company really benefits from having us in this kind of corporate role, we are essentially split into 6+1 teams. And I will give you an idea why I'm saying 6+1 in a second. So if you think about data and if you like to get value out of data, a lot of people these days think immediately machine learning, but this is not the way we go right now here at the time being. Because to really get value out of data, you have to first have a platform where you can work with it. And this is what our platform team does. They're very much into cloud computing, data engineering, building up the right pipelines, and so on. However, now, if you think about it, we have a place where we store and move our data, but everyone who is in the business of data knows your outcome, your insights are just as good as your quality. And this is where the data management team comes in. This is our second important team. And here we have, building up a team that takes care about data quality. Are all the fields actually populated with information that should be populated with information? Things that are as simple as that can make a huge difference. Also, data catalog, if you think of it, really like an old school library. Can I find what I need? This is second improvement. Then we have 2 different kind of data governance teams. I'm not going into detail, but data governance is incredibly important to really set the right rules, that people know how to make sure that in the end the quality is the right thing. So
why
now
is it necessary? Yeah. Sorry, why is it necessary to have 2 teams for the data governance?
I think in our case it's more because that's how it evolves. We have a master data governance, so this is the data governance for the data that should not change much, and we have the enterprise data governance, which addresses anything else. And for us, these are 2 separate teams because they have different workflows, different processes, and so for us it works. I could well imagine that for other companies they wouldn't have it just in one.
Okay.
Then what we have is we have our advanced reporting and analytics team, our ARAS team, like the bird. And here they originally come from all the finance reporting. So whenever you see a number, how much money did Zeiss made last year, and so on. This is a team that will provide you this kind of insight. So even if you're not working for Zeiss, even if you're not a customer of Zeiss, if you read the news, you will get in touch with our ARAS team. And then we have the sixth team, we have the AI Accelerator, and this is essentially my team. But before I tell you a bit more here, because I introduced, we have the 6+1. And as I told you, we are essentially into 4 different segments. And if you think about semiconductor industry, medic tech, very different industries, right? Both need optics, but very different industry. Measurement technology and vision, very different industry, even though, again, both need high precision lenses. So this is where our program management team comes in. Our program management team is really the touch point for our business. We have for each segment, we have a program manager. And no matter where you are in the company, you have this one person you can reach out to and say, hey, I have a problem. We have data. Can you help? And this program manager will then work with our business partners to figure out, do you need maybe support with the governance? Do you maybe need support with the data management? Or maybe you need a machine learning algorithm. And if you need machine learning, this is when you call it AI Accelerator.
Pretty cool and pretty, structured. It's a whole of it. And I think to me, it seems like you're pretty far already. Like not so many other companies, maybe?
Yeah, to be very honest, I think we are very far in the sense that we have a very clear understanding about the role that you have to have what we like to call the offense and the defense strategy. Offense strategy is all the things you see when you interact with your data, whether it's your dashboard, whether it's the outcome of your machine learning or things. But to actually get some benefit, you have to have these defensive roles, right, where you have your data management, your platform, your infrastructure, and these sort of things. And I think we are very far in this understanding on how many different roles do you need to really get the value out of the data as you like to have. However, we are indeed actually a very, very young team. So the data and analytics team at Zeiss has been founded in 2021. So it was last year, 1st of March.
Wow.
Our chief data officer arrived, and he was very busy getting to know the company, getting to know all the details about how is Zeiss, how is working Zeiss, and developing a data strategy. And from there, he deducted essentially the structure as we are building it up today. And we are building it up in an incredible speed.
Yes, that's impressive. Really, it is.
We as the AI Accelerator are one of the youngest teams in the whole setup. So we have been founded on the 1st of November last year.
Okay. Wow.
Then again, it's not that we haven't done some machine learning before. So we had already ideas, right? We had already projects running and so on. But really in this function, in this role, we are pretty young and on a very steep learning curve.
Okay. So, but you personally, you are a very experienced data scientist. You've been working at another company before as a data scientist. So, and you are in an industry that's more male, I guess, than there are working women. So, yeah, it's kind of special that you're a woman working in the field. What do you think about that? And I mean, or how do you feel about it? And then why do you like your job? I hope you do like it.
I hope that too. So, my background comes from theoretical physics. So, I am used to be in meetings, in conferences, and so on, where I'm one of the few women, or maybe the only one, sometimes. So this is something I kind of, grew up with to a certain extent. So coming into a company like Zeiss, where you will find a lot of physicists, I'm not special here if you come as that.
Okay.
This is not a big change. However, what I do feel, or let's phrase it differently, what I'm very, very proud of is we as a data and analytics team, we take diversity on many levels gender is just one level of diversity, but we take diversity very serious. And the reason why we do it is twofold. The one thing is, what you will find is it gives different perspective. It is, you can argue whether, something is typically women or typically male or what have you. But if you have a good mixture, right, you will get a nice coverage on how do you like to think about problems, how do you solve problems, how do you approach interactions, whether it's interaction with customers, whether it's interaction with some other one in our business. And if you have a very nicely, strongly diverse team, and again, gender is just one role of it, you get this very nice mixture where, everyone brings in their personal strengths, their personal weaknesses, and you can start finding your way as a team to really try to get the best out of everyone. Having said so, I am kind of proud because we are at the AI Accelerator, we are now more than 15 people working together, and we are actually 50-50. We have just as many, It's not quite a coincidence, right? I had a certain control over it. And what I feel is having this nice mixture, it gives a very, maybe we would have it anyway, who knows, but it gives a very beautiful social dynamics. And I like that.
Yes, it sounds very, very good, and you really can be proud of that team, I guess. So that brings me to another question. If somebody would ask you or me, why should I join this team? Do you have anything? You already told a lot about the team, but maybe there's anything else. What could be exciting to join the team?
I think it always comes down to what is your interest, what are you passionate about. And we are not a research team. You would think so. If you look at my CV, I spent a lot of time in academia and a lot of time of research. However, when I left academia and joined industry, I made essentially a conscious decision. I want to make sure that I am contributing to the new community I'm in. And my new community is Zeiss, with all its customers and with all its problems. So we really like, and this is what we want to do, and what we're doing in many projects as of today is saying, well, if you have a problem, if you have data, that's very important. You need to have both. Not so clear for everyone, but you need to have both data and a problem to solve.
Data and a problem, yes. No answer without question.
Yeah, we always can give an answer, but whether it's helpful, yeah. So we really like to help from the very first data point, having a look on what is your data quality, maybe, how would you need to label it eventually, these sort of things. So really starting from the very beginning on the early discussions, what can we do for you, up to the point where we really like to run our machine learning and really operate the machine learning so that, every day if new fresh data comes in, the algorithm is actually working, is creating the output and the insight, and then it can be delivered to whoever needs it.
Great. Thank you so much. Yes, you wanted to say anything else?
Yeah. So if someone is really passionate about making the whole way going and making the whole way happen, I think we are a fantastic team. I just like to stress, I need to do it. I'm sorry. Because I get a lot of applications from people saying, I want to become a data scientist. And there are so many amazing roles within the world of data. For example, if you think about data engineering is not just boring, you have a SQL database. You can think about web scraping. How can you join different sources and bring them together? So how do you automate? How do you make this pipeline? So data engineering, for example, is an amazing, role you can have. Or if you think about security, we all have private people that produce an awful lot of data, and we want it to be safe. And being in this role where you can contribute making the data, whether it's internal for the company, whether it's from the customer, really making it safe, is an amazingly exciting role. So I just like to stress, yes, my team is awesome, but there are so many exciting roles within data, and I really like to encourage everyone to open up their mind, because I know there's a lot of hype around data science, for good reason. I like my job too. but there is so much more exciting stuff that needs to be happen and where you can contribute.
So we must give the HR teams the right content to look for the right people. Yes, when they publish some job announcements. Okay, cool. Very cool. Lydia, you are going to hold a presentation at Data Festival in a few days, actually. It's on 23rd and 24th of May. What can the people expect then? The title of your presentation is Machine Learning at Zeiss and the Road to MLOps. What can we expect from it?
Yep. So, as I say, we believe in taking the data and really bringing value, really run it. And there's a lot of exciting stuff that's happening about getting stuff to run. How to empower your data scientists to not just do something in a Jupyter notebook and then put it in a drawer, but really bring it on the road. And here we believe very strongly similar problems should have similar solutions. We believe, that if you are wisely choosing standardization at its core and giving a lot of flexibility to adapt and adjust to a certain project, you can really speed up the entire process. However, as I said, we started in November. We came a long way. I'm very proud of what we achieved so far, and we have a lot of plans where we want to go. And we like to share a bit of our journey that we have taken, a little about the destinations where we are heading to, and are super curious about any exchange with everyone who is on the same journey. We are the only company here doing that.
Very great, very great, and thank you. And I'm really looking forward to your presentation. We're at the end. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
And we will see each other in Munich then.
See you in Munich.
Bye.